What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video all about the seasonal journey and how I've actually managed to complete it in just playing, I'd say, more than casual, but every day since launch. So if we go into the journey now, you can see they've all got the marks on where they're all ticked. You only have to do 6 out of the 8 objectives, and they actually complete even when you move past them. So I only did 6 of these, but just through playing the game and doing the other ones, I've ended up ticking them all. You can see it's same with this one as well. I've done 7 on that one. That one I've still got 2 outstanding, and so on and so on and so on. And what I'll do is I'll go through the ones that I've done, and I'll just kind of show you, or maybe just describe some of the easiest ways that I did to get them unlocked. Because I've seen a lot when I've said online on my X that, oh, I finished it, a lot of people commented, well, how did you do this so quick, how did you do that so quick? So I thought I would just make a bit of a general roundup video which will hopefully spur you on and give you some ideas. But as we get further down towards the end here now, you can see there is the Carmine mask. I've not yet claimed the rewards, so let's do that right now. So you get 3 exotic caches, the mask, which is what we're interested in, and a couple of other rewards as well. But let's get straight into the apparel, and there it is. Oh, now this mask would probably be my go-to mask. I think it's pretty good. I think it being so plain with the red eyes, yeah, I think it's actually really sweet. I think I would prefer it without the netting over the red eyes if I'm being really picky. Just like a pure red. But I love how it flickers and how it flashes. But the problem that this mask has got right now is the fact that the clown mask is just so good. Where's it gone? This one is just so good. Like so good. It's crazy. But for the purpose of this video, we will keep it on with my clown feet and my mixed match suit, because something feels very bank heisty about it. Anyway, let's get back into it, and let's hope I can remember everything that I did as we work through the journey. Journey mission 1. I mean, there's nothing really I'm going to advise here. It's pretty straightforward. Eliminate hostiles with your primary weapon. Well, you're going to do that just by playing the game. You'll do that while you're doing Grand Washington Hotel. Loot, again, you're going to do it. Pulse, just keep pulsing as much as you can. Keep your regular strikers build on, or whatever it is you're running, and keep the pulse on. Buying from the theatre, dead easy as well. Complete a broadcast, Air and Space Museum, and control point. Just whatever you like. This is really easy, really straightforward, and there's nothing really to worry about. Then we move on here. I went with complete main missions, deconstruct items, craft pieces of gear, claim battle pass reward, which dead easy to do as well. Public executions are really easy down near Tidal Basin. There's always at least a few. If not, reset your map, you're bound to pick up a couple. If you want to do descent, I had to do descent for complete the Nemesis, which is out further down the track. So that's what I didn't actually do that in this one. I just did loot and all of the other ones, and as you can see, I've still not finished the eliminate true sons in Southwest. But what I kind of do advise at this point here is mix as many of them in with the priority objectives at the same time, so that you're unlocking the all the different modifiers, because you will need some of the modifiers later on in the journey to be able to complete it. But there is actually a trick to that as well, that either there's something lost in translation in this, or it's not working as intended, which might benefit you grinding this out as quickly as possible, just in case it does change. Because there is a chance that this actually might get more difficult, and I'll explain that as we get a little bit further down the journey. But again, you know, journey number 2 is just, again, essentially playing the game. This one here, complete District Union Arena. Yeah, all right, no problem. And don't forget, you can do all of this with all of the modifiers turned off at this point. You don't have to have them turned on. You don't have to be suffering through any of them. But like I said, probably mix them in with priority objectives if you can. So for instance, select ones that might drop you a stronghold, and then obviously you can do this at the same time. I made the mistake of pushing through the priority objectives first and completing all of them modifiers before I moved on to this. And then I found that actually from step 4 onwards, there was a bit of duplication where I could have combined them. So it might just be, it might be, if you want to save a bit of time, there is some time saving to be done there. But as you can see here, I did the 2 strongholds, pretty straightforward. Eliminate veteran hostiles with headshots. I used the determined build for this. You can find one in, in my channel. There's loads of them knocking around. But I just put on a high-end determined build because then you can just body shot them anywhere. Dead easy. And in fact, if you look at my video where I showed you how to get around the modifier, I'll just show you very quickly. So the enemy modifiers can get pretty horrible, but requital, if you want to get around that completely, determined completely nullifies it. As long as you one-shot the enemy, you don't take any damage because there's no chance of it building stacks or anything like that. So yeah, just a little bit of an easy one there. So you can get the headshots really easy, and also you don't have to worry about enemy modifiers. Craft weapons, let's go to the bench, craft 15 or whatever. If it was 15, I think it was, I can't remember. Equipped items from the same brand. This was pretty confusing because usually a brand set you wouldn't go past 3 pieces, because once you got the 3-piece set, that would be it. It actually wants you to equip 4. Little bit weird, but to equip 4 yellow high-end items. People seem to think it was the gear sets and not brand sets, because that would make more sense. But yeah, it's not 4 high-end items all of the same type. And donate resources to control points. Again, I just kind of cleared a control point out at the beginning and then just kept going back to him until I could give him, the 500, I think it was, that let you hand them in. Oh yeah, 500, it does tell you the 5 weapons to craft. I didn't see that there. And there you can see the equip 4 of the same one. Again, all pretty straightforward. There's nothing too hard at this point here. Right, and then we moved on to some slightly ones where I started to combine different objectives here. So at this point here, I was using the determined build again. I'll link it down below in the description because I'm going to talk about it a little bit. It just meant that I could run up to enemies that were purples, and I could basically shoot them and one-shot them at close range. So that was, pretty easy. I didn't bother with this one. I felt like it was, unless you really want to be doing like a legendary or something where you're guaranteed all elites, it was just pretty rough. I mean, I suppose you could load into dark hours on easy mode and clear out the beginning bit there. That might net you some elites fairly easily, but it just seemed like it was just too much. It would take too long. This is what I was talking about before. At this point, I've done probably 100 priority objectives to unlock all of the modifiers. I got to stage 4 and I didn't need to do them anymore. So again, that one's probably fairly easy to knock out. But why I was running Capital Building, why I was running Tidal Basin, I was literally looking at killing any veterans within close range. So at this point, I'd turned my modifiers on. I was using Determined, and I was trying to kind of, combine the 2 of them. Every time I saw a purple, I just made sure I ran up close to it and I would shoot it at close range to make sure that I got that basically for both of them. And then after that, cleaners at mid-range, liberate a New York control point. And any veteran ones that I had left, I started to combine these. So if you went over to New York, I'll actually go to the New York map so I can show you this, because there's some in the next section as well that actually are easier done on the New York map. So when you load into New York, if you go up here, this control point here, City Hall, is cleaners. And I basically did that control point over and over again until I then finished this section of the journey. So it basically counted that I was liberating the control point. I only had to do it 5 times. I was doing cleaners at mid-range, and then I would do it, and then any purple cleaner that came that I had left to do, I would then kill that cleaner at the purples at mid-range. Once I'd finished the mid-range ones, I would just once I finished all the close range purples, I then just moved on to clean everything at mid-range. But until this one was finished, so red bars and elites, I would kill at mid-range, and then kill all the purples at close range, and then just mix and match. And then by the time I'd done 5 control points, everything else had mopped up and everything else was done, and that was nice and easy. Moving on again to where they start to come a little bit more tricky. Complete floors of Summit on hard difficulty, definitely self-explanatory, but you can obviously combine a few of these. Take a sticky bomb in with you and just keep firing it off. Dead easy. Looting, you're just going to loot. While you're doing Summit, just in case you do get any rushes, again, I just used the Determined and let them rush up to me and then just pop them as soon as they were close, because you can even hit them in the shield or whatever. You know, if it's a cleaner running at you with a big shield, you know, or whatever, or a grenade rusher that's going to explode on you or whatever. Again, just wait till they come within the blue range and then shoot them. And then again, here we are with another mid-range one. So every time there was a purple within the mid-range, just make sure you equip the pressure piston modifier and away you go. But it does say eliminate veteran hostiles at mid-range with the pressure piston mod active. It doesn't actually have to be active. All you have to do is have it equipped. So as long as you've got modifiers turned on and you've got it equipped, it'll look absolutely fine. So again, with Determined here, you can rack up a bunch from it. You don't have to use Determined. You could use Strikers or you know, or whatever. But that's just the quickest way I found of doing it. And obviously I was rushing it as quick as I could to get to the end, to basically create the content. But then once I'd done the Summit floors, I then flipped back to exactly the same control point that I was already doing in New York. I had to do 15 of them. And I obviously know that the cleaners have a lot of rushes at that same control point that I just told you about in New York. So it just made much more sense, again, to go back to doing exactly the same thing as I was doing previously. Kill all of the rushers at close range with drawback on. Dead easy. And then veteran hostiles again. So any purples with the pressure piston modifier active, I would just do exactly the same thing again. Kill all purples at mid-range and then kill everything else closer until it was all mopped up. And again, if you didn't see the that last part of that video, I would just use this city hall here. It just made it really easy. It's a very short run. Reset the map, go again, and then once you've done the 15, I was at the end of doing all them kills before I even finished the 15 control points so that it requires here. So dead easy. And then the last cut few, which were much more trickier, was this one. So you can see here, I didn't do the long range one, and I didn't do the snipers. So optimize items is definitely straightforward. Deconstruct items, again, straightforward, don't have to worry about that. Gain SHD levels, this one was actually not finished by the time I'd finished everything else in this section, so just grind that out, don't worry about that too much. But then eliminate elite hostiles at close range with the liability modifier active. Eliminate throwers at mid-range with the quicken modifier active. Now I found these two really easy to do. If you go over to the Wall Street mission, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of fast forward over to that now, and I'll show you the couple of sections that I used to just kind of pay a little bit more attention to get them grinded out. So just make sure when you go to the journey, at this point I was just using a strikers build to do these anyway, but just make sure you've got liability equipped and quicken equipped. You definitely need to have these two equipped. Like I said, you don't have to use them, you don't have to modify, you don't have to get them to activate or anything like that. Just make sure that you've gone into here, because these often reset once you've logged out, and you've got that one on. Pop out, and I think it was what pressure. Oh, it's quick and win it. Just make sure you've got them two on. And if we look at the actual journey and go to the objective, so you want to eliminate elite hostiles at close range with the liability modifier active. So just do that as you're playing through. Any yellow, just go up to it and kill it close range. You can farm these though in the very last section. You can get 5 of them very quickly, die and reset, and I'll show you that as well. And then throwers, you're just going to get all the way through on this mission. By the time I got to doing 8 of them, I had both of these complete. So That gives you an idea that you don't have to rush them. The only way I had to farm a little bit was this one on the last boss room. So let's just rush through this now, and I will be right back. Okay, I often found that this section now is very good for throwers. You get quite a few here in this section here, so feel free to kind of do this section a few times and then just kill yourself and die. You'll start back at the top and you'll be good to go. And if you need to, this is where you can farm your elites at close range. Run into this room and there is 5 you can do straight away. They pop either here in front of you like this, and then to the right hand side as well. So you can basically smash these down at close range. Get the other 2 that spawned. Don't worry about them that pop in now, they're reds. Get them and then just let these guys kill you.
Serious trauma detected. Agent out of action. Agent vital signs.
And you'll basically then spawn right outside the boss room for you just to run in and get another 5. Alright, so let's check out what we need to do next. So back into the journey. That was that one. So we've got the close range with the liability one on, that's fine. And then the throwers you'll get throughout that mission as well. Dead easy. And then for the last but not least, this was definitely I found this one tougher. Number 6 tougher than number 7. But eliminate Rikers at mid-range with the all-out modifier active. You don't actually have to have the modifier active. Just have it equipped and you're absolutely fine. So for this one, I did exactly the same mission that I'm on now. But I stopped at the first named boss. So you kind of go in, do the first opening section, and then do the next opening section after that. And you kind of go inside and you go upstairs and... what's she called? The Duchess. When you get to the Duchess room, kill Duchess. Do the room after if you want, where you kind of go down the ramp. But then after that, just reset the mission. And I found that really quick. You can just run this mission over and over if you want, or you could do the tombs over and over as well. That would work. But if you want it for speed, definitely just doing up to kind of the Duchess area, resetting it and going again will get it done the quickest. The descent one's pretty straightforward. Just do descent, reconfigure exotics. If you don't want to reconfigure anything you've got, just get one. You can reconfigure the same exotic for this over and over again. No problem at all. There was one thing actually, optimize items with this one. I found that I had to do 25 different items. So maybe start working on that from when you hit it, just with things, you know, items that you get, you can tinker it and just, you know, do it as you go along and then destroy it. Don't have to worry about it. But with the reconfiguring the exotic, you could do the same one over and over again and it just got it done straight away. Really easy. Complete countdown objectives on heroic difficulty. I just joined, you know, a public match and just did it. Just fine though. What will happen is the first 3 objectives will count. So you know where you get you get a choice of 3, don't you? And everyone goes no VIP, but you get a choice of 3. People tend to do 1 and then they didn't do the main objective, and then that's fine. You'll get out and you'll get 3. Obviously, if you're going with your friends, you could do all 3 of the minor objectives, then do the main objective, and then just leave and not do the extract mission. But you know, that's just if you're doing it for speed, right? But I just joined, you know, and did 4 countdowns, and that was it. Destroy enemy gadgets. Right. Okay. This one was pretty tough, but I noticed this when I was in Countdown. You have some SHD missions where you've got to kind of go and sit in the range of the SHD boxes, claim the box for yourself, and then everything that spawns out of it becomes taken over as yours. Go in on normal by yourself. But, you know, if you get in and it doesn't say an SHD objective at the top, just leave and then go back in. When you find one, just go in with an EMP pulse and just sit next to a box, just out of range so that you're not EMPing the box so that it can't spawn the bad guys, but just camp near one of them. Every time it spawns a skill, you just delete it with your EMP. You will have some guys to kill. They are guarded by about 20 enemies, but then the red bars, they're dead easy to take out. So you'll have no problem whatsoever. I did it within 1 countdown. I think it took me about 13 minutes to get all 100 of them. Really easy. You can do it on the Liberty Island mission as well. There's 2 sections there. The one with the Razorback just keeps spawning over and over, and the room with Keena's skills at the end where Keena's talking to you for a while. You can kill yourself after that and just redo that. But I just found going into the normal countdown really, really easy for that one. It was no problem whatsoever. And then eliminate tanks at close range. Thanks to GC Rock for this one. I couldn't figure this one out or what to do for this one. It was a pain. But he went to DCD headquarters. And what I'll do is actually, I'll go and do that now because it's probably easier to show you. So we're going to go to DCD headquarters and just put it on normal mode. I don't know if it works on story or not. He put it on normal when I watched his video. So just put it on normal mode and run to this section where I'm going to show you just now. Alright, so this is the room you are looking for. Come down this corridor and you're stood at this room here with the door. You're going to go in. There's 2 gas canisters either side. It wants you to destroy. You're not going to bother with them. What you are going to do is put yourself on a sticky bomb. You could put a glass cannon on as well if you wanted to die extra fast. And obviously do the killing extra fast as well. If I've got a glass cannon on me, and maybe I've not. Yeah, I have. Don't really want to put that on though. Don't really want to put that on. Yeah, we're not bothered. But you could put it on if you want. And you're going to open the door. Run straight up here. Ignore the bosses and everything. The bad guys on either side. Kill him at close range with the correct modifier on. Shoot your bomb. Kill yourself. Oh, that's not killing yourself. But you will kill yourself because you're going to put the right gear on to kill yourself really quickly.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
You're going to die.
Agent deceased.
You're going to respawn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a build that shows it properly. We'll just put my Oreo Strikers build on. That'll do. Take off the Revive Hive for the sticky bomb. And this should do the job. And it will take you a while to do this. This was the one that took me the longest, but it's the only one where I've been guaranteed a tank and then kill yourself. Respawn and you go in and do it again. And that will be the end of your seasonal journey at that point. Really straightforward. And there's probably other ways of doing these things, and there might even be better ways of doing these things. But to be honest, I casually played this, sat on the couch on a handheld, and all of these were pretty easy doing it this way. And I got it done. I really started working on it yesterday. It kind of took me 2 days of just grinding it to get it done. I'm not really sure how much hours I put in it, but there's probably about 15-20 hours worth of grinding here, doing it the way I did it. So yeah, and then you get yourself the Carmine mask, which is what we were looking at before. But like I said, unfortunately, I think it's come at a time where I probably won't use it because of the clown mask. But yeah, that's it. I hope this guide helped. Please comment down below if you found any easier ways so people get to see that as well. Maybe follow me on X, follow me on Twitch for drops and the Discord. All the links are in the description. Thanks for watching, agents, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.